are and what I'm really talking about here. Okay. Number three is called private label. That's where you buy from Alibaba or AliExpress. You put your own name on it, you sell it. And number two is a branding where you create your own product. Now, if you're following on Instagram, if you're following on TikTok, if you're following on YouTube, I just put a video up the other day on why you should never buy from China ever when you're new to selling on Amazon. Now, this is just my opinion. There's a lot of people out there, you watch TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and they tell you to do this, but it's not the right thing to do. Now, you can do it my way, you could do it their way. I'm not emotionally connected to you, so it won't hurt my feelings if you say, you know what, I'm going to buy from China. But just understand that when you lose all your money, all of it, don't tell me that it was because of me. It's because you chose to do it your way. Now, I don't have an issue with buying from China. I'm not anti China. But watch that video and you'll understand better why. So, the third option here is what's called private labels. So let me get this up here on the screen for you. Private label. And this one is called branding. Now, so that we are on the same page, let me show you something like this. Okay, let me show you something. Okay, um, let me I can show you this. Okay, hold on. Let me move this over here. Okay, so I want you to understand something. Okay, I have used Amazon to build a multi-million-dollar brand, my own brand. I formulate supplements with the doctor. This is a vegan omega-3. It's the best-selling omega of its in its class on Amazon. We've created multiple products on Amazon that are massive bestsellers. I am not telling you that you shouldn't do a private label or a brand because I don't know how to do it. Because I know how to do it, I know what it takes, and I know how much money is involved. And I know that anyone starting out would be silly to do it, just my own opinion. My goal for you is to get results. It is not for you to lose any money. Now, let me go ahead and do one more thing here, okay? Because I think this might help you. You ready for this? Check this out. So just so you feel good. I mean, I don't know if not having a lot of money makes you feel good, but just to make you feel good, let me show you this, okay? Based on the poll, and I'm at 73% of you have answered the poll, and some of you have just not answered the poll, okay? And that's okay. But here's what I want you to understand. To do retail arbitrage the right way, you need approximately $500 for inventory, okay? Approximately $500 for inventory. To do wholesale the right way, you need approximately $5,000 for inventory. Now, when you're buying wholesale, you must also have software and a place to put it. If you're going to buy a pallet, where are you going to put it? In your house? You got a forklift and a pallet jack at your house? I mean, there is a lot of things to think about, but we're not on shipping until tomorrow. We're not even on wholesale until tomorrow. Private label, there's an L there. Private label, you will need about $12,000 in inventory to start. And branding, you will need $25,000 for inventory. Again, none of this includes prep, services, packaging, label, boxing, none of shipping, none of it. This is just the cost of inventory. Now, I'm going to ask you all a question. Be honest with me. I know the answer because I can see the answer in the poll. Which category does your budget put you in? And by the way, you're going to need more than what I gave you here. This is just for the inventory side. Let me know which one your budget allows you to do. And I'll just call out your answers, okay? Retail, 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 retail. If I say retail, that's retail arbitrage. Retail, 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 retail. In fact, watch this. 4% of you, let me show you something, okay? Watch this. 96% of you that answered the poll, whoops. Hold on. 96% of you are in this category. 4% of you are in this category. And no one are in either of those categories based how you answered the poll. Based on how you answered the poll. So I just want you to understand why we focus so much on retail arbitrage. Now, I will tell you this, okay? Retail arbitrage is not the sexiest thing to do. It's not. It's just not. But here's the point. It's the most profitable, and it's the least risk. And it's the one everyone should do when they are starting out. So step number one is source the product. We're going to find it from the retailers. Step number two is make sure it's on Amazon. If it's not on Amazon, we go back to step number one. Now, by the way, you will choose yourself whether or not you want to follow my formula. I can't make you follow it. If you don't follow it, that's your business. But the closer you can follow it, the more success you're going to have. People always say to me, what's the difference between the people who make a lot of money with your program and the people who don't make any money with your program? Really simple. The people who don't make any money don't follow it and quit. Now, that's a blanket statement. You say, well, how do I know that? I've been doing this for 19 years. I know exactly what you need to do. But some people just want to do it their way. And then when it doesn't work their way, they blame me for it not working. Okay, however makes you feel good. Doesn't bother me, but whatever makes you feel good. If you follow this program and you're open and coachable and you don't give up, it has to work, folks. $166 million worth of proof. It has to work. So let's talk about step number three. Step number three is determine the profitability. We're looking for at least 15%. Step number four. Step number four is to find out whether it's selling. Now, this one is going to put a little monkey wrench in it for some of you, okay? Is it selling? Well, here's the way this works. You ready? Amazon does not provide you with any mechanism of knowing whether an item is selling or not before you buy it. I'm going to say that again. Amazon does not provide you with any way of knowing whether it's selling or not before you buy it. Now, I want to tell you something, okay? Tomorrow, well, in a little while, I'm going to introduce you to the opportunity to continue working with Internet Mastery after the class is over. And we have three plans. We have a basic plan, we have a elite plan, and we have a pro plan, okay? The basic plan, the elite plan, and the pro plan. And the only difference will be what your budget fits. That's it. It's all very similar. It's just what your budget fits. And the bigger your budget, the more you get. That's all. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to take the class and I'm going to divide it in half. And I'm going to say, when you're selling on Amazon, you're going to do it just like this. And if you're doing it on your own, if you're doing it with Internet Mastery, you're going to do it just like that. And the reason I'm telling you this is in a little while from now, when I give you the pricing, sometimes people just discount themselves. They're like, I can't afford it. I don't want to do it. It's too much. And by the way, it's usually the people without the money that say that. Like it's my fault that you don't have the money to pay for it. I didn't get you in this situation, you did. Okay, too transparent. Here's my point. If you don't have the money, people will then say, well, should I even come back tomorrow? Yes, because I'm going to give you 4.5 hours of training tomorrow of what you can do, even if you're doing it on your own. Don't you understand? If you want to do it with us, we'd love to have you, but that doesn't mean you can't do it on your own. It just means it's harder. That's all. Now, we have step number 4, determine whether it's selling or not. So Amazon doesn't tell you. I'm going to walk you through how to figure it out on your own and make your best educated guess. If you want to know with certainty, you're going to need data mining software. That's what you need. And anyone who sells on Amazon that wants the data has to pay for the data. Now, keep in mind that no business is successful without tools, right? A hairdresser has tools, a mechanic has tools, a plumber has tools, a dentist has tools. So if you're going to run a business, you should have some tools. Step 4A, this is a new step. 4A, and by the way, we built a tool called SpyRivals. I'm going to show it to you in a little while. We've invested millions of dollars in this software tool. Millions. In fact, over the last 18 months, we've had 4 major updates to this software. I love when people say, well, I heard that this, okay, but you got the newest version? You got the most current version with AI built in? I mean, it's insane how good it is. 4A, list it before you buy it. So step 4 is see if it's selling. 4A is listed. 5 is buy it. Now 5A is going to, some of you are going to freak out on 5A, okay? Let me tell you about 5A. When you buy inventory to sell on Amazon, let's say you bought something like this, okay? You buy inventory to sell on Amazon from Best Buy. You ready? Everybody listen now. Before you send the item to Amazon, it must go to your house first. Now I'm going to teach you how to do this tomorrow. But you see this thing on the box called the UPC code? That has to be covered with a barcode so that Amazon knows it's your inventory. So you can't buy a pallet from a wholesaler and send it to Amazon. It has to go to your house first. I'm going to talk about all of the dynamics of the distribution, the shipping, the prepping, all of that I'm going to show you tomorrow. But here's what I want you to understand. We have built more investment in technology, something called the Internet Mastery Prep Center operating system. There is no technology like it in the world. What it does is it allows our students, this is a service. Obviously, it's a paid service because we're doing the work. The way it works is when you buy your inventory, whether it's retail, wholesale, doesn't matter. Instead of sending it to your house, you send it to the Internet Mastery Prep Center. We receive it, we prep it, and we send it to Amazon, and you never touch it. Now, if that's something that is interesting to you or convince you, we'll talk about that tomorrow. When we do the shipping, I'm going to teach you how to do it on your own. But our basic Elite and Pro members won't ever have to do it on their own. So we'll talk about that tomorrow as well. Step number 6 is send it to Amazon. Let me review the 8 steps again. Step 1, source the product. Step 2, see if it's on Amazon. Step 3, determine the profitability. Step 4, make sure it's selling. 4A, list it first. 5, buy it. 5A, send it to your house through the prep center. And step 6, send it to Amazon for fulfillment. Now, please understand something. In a little while, in a minute or two, we're going to do some live product sourcing. But tomorrow, I will review this formula over and over and over again. And we'll go through it in painstaking detail. Now, when I go through this example, I'm going to go to Best Buy. I'm going to try to find some products. I use video games because I love video games to sell. They're lightweight, they're highly profitable, they're easy to ship, and they're great money makers. So we're going to look at some video games. You don't have to sell video games. You can sell whatever you want, but we're going to look at video games. Understand that in the next few minutes, we may or may not find a good deal. The purpose is not to find a good deal. The purpose is just to understand the flow. And then tomorrow, we will go over this over and over and over so you know exactly what you need to do when you leave this class, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us over to Best Buy. Let's see what we've got. Now, before we look at Best Buy, I would not be, let's see if this loads. Before we go to Best Buy, the leaderboard, let's close this. Let's close this. I'm having a little issue with this computer. I actually need to restart the computer too. But look at the leaderboard. Oh my God. 3 hours, in the last 3 hours, actually 2 hours and 45 minutes, folks, our students have sold 960 orders for 14,000. The page is unresponsive. So it's too much data on the page while we're in the Zoom. It's actually more than that, but I'm going to have to close out the screen. But 14,500 is sold in the last 3 hours. If you're wondering whether or not this works, oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to close out the screen. I'm going to reload the leaderboard. I'm not going to let it run. I just want to take a look at the totals at the top. Let's just see where we're at. How close are we to 167? Ooh, got goosebumps. Let's see where we're at. 130, 40 million, 150 million, 160 million. Come on now. Ooh, we're $3,500 away from $160 million. We will hit that in the next 20 minutes. Yeah, uh-huh. Right now we're doing about $1 million a week, if you're wondering what's happening in the community. All right, let's take a look at Best Buy. Let's see where we're at. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to, I'm going to actually end this poll because I don't need to know this anymore. Thank you for sharing where you're at. Okay. Let's take a look at the menu. And from the menu, I'm going to head over to deals. And then I'll look at Best Buy Outlet. Okay. And from Best Buy Outlet, I'm going to click on video games. And from the video games, I'm going to take a look and see what they have. So I'm just going to click on this one here. That's the first one that comes up. Let's take a look at this one that comes up. That's 2. Let's take a look at this one that comes up. That's 3. And let's take a look at this one that comes up. That's 4. Okay. So I got 4 video games. We'll wait for them to come up. And now all we're going to do is we're going to do step number 1. Step number 1 is source the product. We just did that. Step number 2 is see if it's on Amazon. Okay. So step number 2 is see if it's on Amazon. Okay. Step number 2 is see if it's on Amazon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this item here that you can see on the screen. This is the Madden NFL 23 Xbox game. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Let me close this out. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to highlight the title. Okay, highlight the title. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Amazon and I'm going to see if it's there. Okay, so I'm going to take the title and I'm going to paste it in the box. And we'll see if it's on Amazon. Now, what we know is we know that this game right here is $12.99. And we know that this game, so can I just get a thumbs up or thumbs down? Can you all see me? Can you see the screen, yes or no? You can all see it, right? So if you can't see the screen, you've got to figure something out on your side. I can't make any other changes, so I got way too many people telling me they can see the screen. My apologies. It's something probably on your side this time. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Okay, so what we can see here is this game is $33.27. And on Best Buy, it's $12.99. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this listing here. And we're going to take a look and see what we have. We have 51 reviews. We have 3 sellers. Interesting. Okay. We have 51 reviews and we have 3 sellers. Now, if you are doing this on your own, the only thing that you can do to determine whether or not it's selling is base it on the number of reviews and the number of sellers. The more reviews, the better. The more sellers, the better. This only has 51 reviews, and this only has 3 sellers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a polling question now, okay? And this polling question is going to ask you, the polling question is going to ask you this, okay? Do you think this item is selling? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you this question here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the question and say, on Best Buy, it's $9.99. On Amazon, it's $30 plus. It has 3 sellers and 51 reviews. That's not a lot of sellers, and it's not a lot of reviews. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, bear with me just a moment. I'm going to close out on that. And I'm going to close this out here. And I'm going to move this to here and share that. Okay? So we have Best Buy, we have for $12.99, and on Amazon, it's $32.27. Okay? So go ahead and answer the poll for me. Now, only 36% of you have answered. I don't know why. I'm guessing that you just don't know the answer, but that's okay. Pick one. See, when you're doing this on your own, folks, and you don't have any software, you're mostly guessing. So what do you think? Do you think it's selling, yes or no? And right now, we're at 71% no and 29% yes. Now, here's what I want you to do for me. If you said yes, in the chat box, I want you to tell me how many you would actually buy. Would you buy 3? Would you buy 5? Would you buy 7? Would you buy 100? How many would you buy? That's the question. How many of these would you buy? So I'm going to call out the answers. 5, 2, 10, 3, 6, 5, 5, 3, 5. Okay, 0. You don't need to tell me 0 if you're not going to buy it. Maria 10, and then we got 10, 10, 10, 50. Okay, so let me just tell you something, folks. Amazon doesn't provide any data. They just don't. And tomorrow you're going to learn that the number of reviews and the number of sellers don't matter. The only way to know with certainty is to have access to the software. Now, Amazon gives it to us, and Amazon gives it to you. I just want you to understand this. You can buy Amazon data from Amazon. You with me? You can buy Amazon data from Amazon. You pay them about $150,000 a year for their data. Some of you, I think, are out, but at least you understand that you can buy it just like I buy it if you don't want to use my data. Also, we have 15 full-time programmers on staff that we pay every single week that work on and build our software. It isn't just, and then there's the hosting. It's not just the data that we buy. We then need the data to work and to have it make sense. We are Amazon certified developers. That means that in order for our programs to be active, Amazon must approve them in terms of our code and what we're doing with the data. So it isn't inexpensive. And when I share it with you, people will say to me, wow, that seems like a lot of money. It depends. If you're looking to make an investment, and what if I told you to work with Internet Mastery, it costs $20,000. We have a payment plan, all that stuff, $20,000. You go, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. But what if you invested $20,000 and a year from now you were making $20,000 a month? The question isn't, is it a lot of money? The question is it worth the investment? Will you get back more than what you put in? And if you follow it, of course you will. If you don't follow it, of course you won't. It just depends on what you put into it. So let me go ahead and show you the answer. I'm going to pull it up for you. I'm going to make sure you can all see. Can everybody see the Amazon page? Yes, yes, yes. Sorry to keep asking you this. My apologies again. Hopefully tomorrow we don't have to keep asking you, but you should all be able to see the Amazon page. And right on the Amazon page, there's a button here. This button is called Spy Rivals. Now, just so you know, most of the time you click the button, it's going to be a bad result. I'm going to push the button. And if it's green, it's good. And if it's red, it's bad. Really simple. If it's green, it's good. And it's red, it's bad. Now, it's going to give you a few things you can't get anywhere else. Number one, how many are selling every day? Number two, how many you should buy that you can sell in the next 30 to 45 days. Number three, the exact profit in real time after the fees. Exact. Number four, whether it's restricted or not. And number five, if it is not restricted, you can literally list it on Amazon directly from Spy Rivals. Let me show you what it looks like. So good luck, everyone. The final polling numbers, I'll just tell you what it is. 31% of you say it's good, and 69% of you say it's bad. On your mark, get set, go. Huh. Wow. Wow. Let me show you what this means. Okay, number one, I need approval of the list. We know that, no problem. Just list it first. This tells you that 10 units are selling every single day on Amazon, and the number you should buy is 23. Not 3, not 10, not 50, but 23. We analyzed more than 1 million listings to come up with this formula. We have AI that's infused into it that gets smarter and smarter by the day. This is literally like having a crystal ball. This tells you exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it, and then how you do it as well. Now, let me show you what the profit is. If we bought the item for $12.99, the item is selling on Amazon for $33.27. So $12.99, $33.27. And after all the fees and the shipping and all the charges, our net profit is 74%. You say, I don't like that. I want to keep the money in the bank and make a 0.5% interest a year. Really? You could buy 23 of these and make 74% return on your investment in the next 30 to 45 days. This is how the process works. So yeah, there's an investment, but if you get the money back and then you keep making more and more of it, then why wouldn't you continue to make that investment? So we're going to do this deep dive tomorrow. We're going to go into it. We're going to spend a bunch of time on it. We're going to go over and over and over it so you can really understand how it works. And we're going to give you two solutions. So the way tomorrow works is this. You're going to hear me repeat this all day long. If you're doing it on your own, you're going to do it like this. If you're doing it as an Internet Mastery, Basic, Elite, or Pro member, you're going to do it just like that. And I'm going to walk you through, because for me, I want to make sure that I'm providing value for you being here. Now, is it easier if you have the tools? Yes. Is there a bigger investment up front? Yes. But one way or the other, you're going to invest the money. It's just whether you do it the right way or the wrong way. And if you're like me and you're human, you've probably made a lot of mistakes in your life that have cost you a lot of money.